Hey, what's up guys, and welcome back to Anime King 2. And today I'm going to be giving you Uchiha Naruto, The Sage, Part 3. Hope you guys enjoy. Get this one to 50 like as usual. I'm getting the next part as soon as possible. Remember to share to all of your friends on your social media platform. And after this, two what ifs are going to be posted on my main channel, so make sure you go and check them out. So I hope you enjoy this one. And yeah, without further ado, let's get straight into it. Start the intro. Last time we left off, Naruto went to the academy as he found out that Iruka, his teacher, had a hatred towards him after the Kyuubi killed Iruka's parents, but Naruto didn't know that. Naruto was picked on by the bullies of the school as they threw away his lunch. He was used to being picked on, so he just stood there and took everything. When he got home, he was surprised when he got a visit by the old man, which was Madara, who brought healthy food for him, and Madara also told Naruto that he would be back and he would bring some book and he's going to teach him so Naruto could be the best ninja he could be, as Naruto asked him if he's telling the truth because Naruto has been lied to so many times. He just wanted someone to be there with him as Madara made good on his promise. So that was the last time we left out, but you guys can switch across to the playlist and check out part 1 and part 2. Trust me, it's very interesting. It has been 3 months since Madara started bringing Naruto things. Naruto now ate without worry if he is going to run out of food. He has also looked into the mirror and realized that he has gained some weight since he was on a good healthy diet. Madara brought him healthy food instead of the ramen that he loved so much. Naruto didn't like it at first because he was obsessed with ramen, but he grew to like the other food that Madara bring him. He was also picking up on his studies as he was getting really smart, but at the academy he still acts like an idiot. It was Madara's idea to not show people how smart he was. It did not matter though, even if he wanted to show how smart he was, he never got picked to answer the question. So he agrees with Madara's idea. If he showed that he was smart, people will more likely turn to him and focus on him, and Naruto didn't want that attention. He has gotten close to Madara in such a way that on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, they ate dinner together. They always did it in Naruto's apartment. He have never been or seen where Madara lived. Madara never gave Naruto a real answer when he asked him a question about his life or anything. He always gave him cryptic answers which Naruto couldn't decipher. And Naruto really wanted to know who Madara is. So when he visits today, Naruto needs some answers. Naruto looked over Konoha as he sat on the Hokage monument. He sat on Sarutobi's head as he looked down at all of Konoha as the birds fly through the air. Naruto loved to be up here because it was the only place in the village where people didn't bother him or whispered when he walked by, and the breeze was so cool on his skin. If he could live up here, he would have already, but he couldn't. Naruto then got up as he stretched. It's been a long time since he visited Ichiroka ramen stand. As he then jumped down as he landed on the walkway and headed down the mountain. At Ichiraku ramen stand, Naruto walked slowly to the ramen stand as he saw the glares and the whispers, but he didn't pay it any mind as he didn't care about people in Konoha anymore. They always do this. It wasn't like he's going to do anything to change it. Naruto then went inside the stand. As he sat down, as he called out to someone, Amy. Amy was the old man's daughter, and she was like a sister to him. She and the old man treated him like a real person in the village. They were the closest to him, even more closer than the Hokage. At least they didn't lie to him about his parents or anything, because they didn't originally know, but they treated him like a normal human kid, even though he has this beast inside of him. Amy then stepped out of the kitchen as she looked at Naruto and smiled. She pulled him over the counter and she embraced him in a hug. Naruto, I've missed you so much. It has been 3 months since I saw you, she said, as Naruto hadn't eaten ramen in 3 months because of Madara bringing him genuine food and healthy food that are good for him. Naruto grinned as he scratched the back of his head. I got into the Ninja Academy, so I have been busy lately, he replied. You got into the Ninja Academy? Said Amy. So you are a student in the academy? Naruto nodded. I am so happy for you. I know my father will be happy for you too. So, for your gift of making it in the academy, I will give you 6 bowls of ramen, Amy said with a smile. Good. Then make it 26 bowls of miso and pork ramen and keep them coming, Naruto said with a smile as he pulled out some cash, as he's been saving his money for a long time now that the Hokage gave him, because Madara brought him food, water and everything, so he didn't need to really spend any of his cash. And the Hokage take care of the rent for the apartment that he's in. She smiled and said, coming right up. After a few minutes, she came back with 5 bowls as she placed them on the table, as Naruto then took out the chopsticks as he started digging as she went around to prepare the rest of them. She then appeared with more as Naruto did the same thing and cleaned them as quick as possible. He really enjoyed ramen, said Amy, as she just stood there and smiled at him. After Naruto was finished all of his bowl, he then paid as he said goodbye to Amy and leave the ramen stand. The old man wasn't there, so Naruto didn't have time to talk to him. He might be back tomorrow, Amy told him. He was out getting some spices. As Naruto walks in the street, people still whispers as he then jumped up on one of the rooftops as the man shouted at him, "What are you doing, you little brat? Get off my rooftop," as Naruto then hopped from rooftop to rooftop as he headed to his apartment. Today was the day that Naruto was going to meet with Madara again. As Naruto then reached his apartment, Madara was already there. As Madara had prepared food, Naruto was still not full after eating 26 bowls of ramen. He still had more room inside of him to eat some healthy food. He then sat down in the kitchen as he didn't know how to bring up the conversation and really ask Madara about himself. And he knew that the old man knew things about him as well, and he chose to keep them from him. And now, today is the day that Naruto wanted to know what are those things. As Madara took out a loaf of bread out of the bag, he realized that Naruto had something on his mind. He then turned to Naruto and said, "Naruto, what is it?" "I have questions that need to be answered," he said. "I knew you want to ask me something. I was wondering when you would say that." After seeing the look on your face, said Madara. Naruto then said, "Who exactly are you?" "Okay," said Madara. "I am going to tell you something now, but don't freak out when I tell you." Naruto raised an eyebrow, but he nodded. "In the history books I gave you, there was a man called Uchiha Madara, correct?" Naruto nodded as he think about it for a few seconds. As Naruto's eyes then widened. "Wait, it can't be. No, you're supposed to be dead by now. No, you can't be a true Madara. You fought the first Hokage, and you died in that battle, right? So it can't be you." "Yes, the history book said I died in a battle, but that is not the truth. Even if Madara survived in that battle, he should be long dead by now. You cannot be Madara," Naruto said. as Madara sighed. Okay, if you're not going to believe me, maybe I will tell you about your parents. As Naruto turned his full attention to Madara as he opened his eyes wide, wanting to hear who his parents was. Now, sit properly, said Madara, because he knew that Naruto hated the fourth Hokage for sealing the Kyuubi inside of him, and he's going to tell him that the fourth Hokage is his father. How would Naruto react? Naruto then nodded as he sat good in the chair as he turned his full attention to Madara, wanting to hear exactly what he had to say. Let me start with your mother. Your mother was a Jinchuriki of the Kyuubi. The moment Naruto heard those words, his eyes opened wide. He couldn't believe it. He has never heard anyone else talk about the Kyuubi being sealed into another person. He thought that he was the only one. The night of your birth, someone ripped the Kyuubi out of your mother's seal, and it went on a rampage. Sadly, she died that night. Her name was Kushina Uzumaki. Naruto was both happy and sad. He now knew a little bit of his mother. She was a Jinchuriki of the Kyuubi. He had taken up her burden. A part of him always knew that his parents weren't alive. Naruto smiled sadly before looking back at Madara. He wanted to tell the old man thanks for telling him something that the Hokage, third Hokage, failed to do. But not a single word came out of his mouth, as he was still in shock after hearing everything about Kushina Uzumaki and the Kyuubi, that she was a Jinchuriki as well. Madara then continued, seeing that Naruto didn't say anything. Your father was Minato Namikaze, the fourth Hokage. That fool and your mother died, sealing the Kyuubi inside of you, Madara said. Naruto's blood started to boil furiously as his body was heating, and he started to sweat. Clearly anger flashed into his eyes as Madara looked at him. My own father? Curse me? Naruto said as he calmed himself a bit down. I cannot believe it. He was now feeling pure sadness. How could a father do that to his own child? He chose the village over me, Naruto said to himself. That thought made him hate the man to a higher level. If he had the power, he would destroy the man's face on the Hokage monument. The anger he just felt was enough to make him draw out the Kyuubi's chakra unconsciously, but it receded after he calmed down. He was glad that who gave him his mother's name. He hated Namikaze. He hated that his blood was inside of him. He hated everything to do with the goddamn man, as he cursed him for his own life. He even died saving this damn village who treat him like a beast. And he was the one who was holding the Kyuubi inside and not letting it free, as Naruto, feel the rage started to come over him again. Minato was a fool to think that the village would have accepted him as a hero, said Madara as Naruto turned and looked at Madara as he nodded. Yes, you're right. That foolish fourth Hokage. How could he seal that thing inside of me? He is everything. He is responsible for everything, said Naruto. He then started talking. How didn't I saw my mother in the history books that she held the Kyuubi inside of her? He asked Madara. All records about her was destroyed and the Jinchuriki status to keep it a secret. Only a selective few know about it. People didn't even know about his mother because of foolish beliefs. They celebrated the fourth Hokage as a hero, as his mother was not spoken of. She died and no one ever speaks of it. Her name was not even in the history books. Naruto then blamed the fourth Hokage, his father, for everything that happened. Naruto really hated the bastard. If he was alive, he would wish nothing other than to see the man die in a slow, agonizing, painful death. Naruto then shook his head as he banished all of those evil thoughts out of his mind. Thinking such things would not do anything good for him. It will only destroy him inside. He then looked at Madara. How come no one know about this? He asked. How come you know all of this? I'm sure none of the villagers know about this, Naruto said. I know because I am Kushina's father, your grandfather, and that is why I've been helping you for these past months. Naruto's eyes widened. The fact that the man called himself Madara Uchiha. So that means that Naruto is a Uchiha then. And the man is his grandfather. As Naruto couldn't believe it. There was a part of him that always knew that the old man was connected to him somehow. A few tears dropped out of Naruto's eyes as he promised himself that he would never cry again after being tortured by the entire village and being hated. He took that all without crying, but now he just felt like crying. He was happy. He had a grandfather. Madara looked at Naruto to see a true happy smile on his face as Naruto was so excited he finally had family in the world. Naruto then said, if you're truly my grandfather, how come you were never there in the past years? Madara then sighed. By the time you were born, I could no longer walk. It was through a lot of experiments that I could get myself mobile again, as Madara did something to himself so he could walk around and visit Naruto. Somehow, I believe that you're my grandfather, but I do not believe that you could be Uchiha Madara. Madara nodded. Give it time and you will believe. I do not doubt that you're Uchiha because I see your eyes. But if you're my grandfather, that would have made my mother an Uchiha also. It did, but your grandmother and I part ways when she was still carrying your mother. Your grandmother was a Uzumaki and she used a master seal on Kushina to prevent her from unlocking her sharingan. Naruto nodded. If any of that was possible, it was with the art of sealing. A giant demon fox was sealed inside of him because of the art of sealing, so he would be foolish not to believe that they could seal an Uchiha eyes. What he had been told had drained him as his energy, as Naruto felt tired. As Naruto said, I better get some rest for now. Madara nodded and said, I will come back in a few days. We will have much to discuss, he said as he went to the door. As Naruto said, goodbye, grandfather. As he just said, goodbye, grandson. As he opened the door and went off, Naruto went to his bed to get some rest. It will help clear his mind. What he learned today was too much for him. Tomorrow he wasn't even going to go to the academy. He needed a day off. The third Hokage had hid too much information from him. Naruto was not going to confront the man about it because he didn't trust the man anymore. As Naruto then took off his orange jumpsuit as he crawled into bed as he fell asleep. A few days later, Madara was staring at Naruto with an impassive gaze. He had returned to see Naruto and discuss a few things with the boy. Have you cleared your thoughts? Naruto nodded. Yes, grandfather, he replied with a smile, as he accepted the old man as his grandfather. Madara then returned the smile. Good. Now then, you and I have a lot to discuss, but not here, said Madara, as he took Naruto's hand and the both of them disappeared in thin air. Naruto opened back his eyes as he was in a dark place. Follow me, said Madara, as he started to walk away from Naruto, as Naruto followed him through the darkness. As they appeared, it was a kitchen and the both of them took a seat. What is this place? This is my hideout. I have been hiding out here for years. Are we out of Konoha? Yes. I am happy that you have believed that I am truly your grandfather. For a Jinchuriki, your life is always in danger. Your life will always be threatened by other villages if they found out that you are the Jinchuriki of the Nine Tails. They will try to take and kidnap you for your power of the Kyuubi. It is my duty to ensure that when the challenges do come, you can protect yourself. That is why, from now, I will train you and I will become your sensei, as Madara looked down at Naruto. But guys, I'm gonna end this episode right here. If you want to see the next part of this, you already know what to do. Like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn on that bell notification. And remember to go and check out my main channel, Anime King, because I'll be posting 2 What If on it today. And they will be out a little late, guys. So just stay in tune, and I hope you enjoy them. But for now, I'm out. Peace.